Hello everyone and welcome to another installment of Fantastic Five. This week we're taking a look at the 5 best adult sidekicks in comics. Besides the typical sidekick in a cape and short pants that were often used as decoys or boy hostages, many books in the golden age of comics featured an adult sidekick who was typically non-powered and rarely had a secret identity. These characters were meant to serve as a bumbling foil for the ultra-competent hero, to give them someone to talk to, or generally to play the role of comic relief. Before we get to the main list, here are a couple of excellent candidates who didn't quite make the cut. Cab-driving Brooklynite companion of the original Green Lantern, Doiby Dickles, Stripesy, the rare example of an adult sidekick to a kid hero, in this case the Star-Spangled Kid, thinly veiled Three Stooges clones and pals to the original Flash, Winky, Blinky, and Noddy, the Three Dimwits, straw boater-wearing hillbilly private eye ally of the Wildcat, Stretch Skinner, and Percival Pop, the Super Cop, bumbling sidekick to the Spectre, who for a time took over as a star of the feature. Now on to the top 5. Number 5, J. Wellington Wimpy. Wimpy first appeared in the Popeye comic strip by E.C. Seeger in 1919, and later appeared in the popular Fleischer Studios Popeye cartoons starting in 1933. While Popeye is arguably not a superhero, Wimpy fits the criteria of this list to a T. He serves as a foil to the hero, in this case playing the calm-natured straight man to the prone-to-outburst Popeye. Frequently joins the hero on his adventures, but his cowardice and underhanded nature make him the perfect comic relief. Wimpy is best known for his love of hamburgers and his unwillingness to pay for them, with his famous catchphrase, "I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today." The cartoon version of the character was largely reduced to a hamburger-eating machine. The original comic strip version was a major player who almost eclipsed Popeye in popularity, but who was deemed too intellectual to be a major character in the cartoons. Nevertheless, the character was popular enough to inspire his own chain of hamburger restaurants, which you can't say about anyone else on this list. I can't imagine anyone sitting down to eat a hot and juicy Doiby Dickles burger. Number 4, Woozie Winks. Woozie Winks is the inept but ever-faithful companion of Plastic Man, who first appeared in a story in Police Comics number 13 from 1942 by master cartoonist Jack Cole. Intended as a comic foil to the more traditionally heroic Plastic Man, Woozie was modeled on popular film comedians Lou Costello and Hugh Herbert. In his original appearance, Woozie is a small-time criminal who finds himself blessed with an interesting superpower. After rescuing a wizard from drowning, Woozie is rewarded with a spell that causes him to be protected from all harm by forces of nature. Most later stories would ignore this aspect, however, and Woozie would just be Plastic Man's bumbling but good-intentioned assistant in a straw hat and polka dot shirt. As Plastic Man moved from his original publisher Quality Comics to DC Comics, Plas himself became more of a comedic figure, and so there has been less of a need for him to have a comic relief buddy, resulting in Woozie making fewer and fewer appearances, but nothing can take away from the excellence of those original Jack Cole comics. Number 3, Mr. Talkie Tawny. Mr. Tawny first appeared in Captain Marvel Adventures number 79, in a story by Otto Bender and C.C. Beck from 1947. He is a talking tiger who grows bored with life in the jungle, and boards a ship from his native India and travels to America in order to experience clothes and ice cream cones and movies. Although his appearance terrifies everyone in the big city, Captain Marvel soon straightens everything out and gets Tawny clothes and a job at the museum. Soon, Mr. Tawny, who was later given the first name Talkie in a reader contest, is accompanying Cap and the rest of the Marvel family on adventures. Mr. Tawny is notable for his dignified, gentlemanly manner, and his seemingly endless supply of tweed jackets. Although more recent versions of Mr. Tawny have tried to make him seem less silly by making him a magical genie or just a regular tiger or giving him the ability to transform into a giant saber-toothed tiger, all this is just gilding the tiger lily. Mr. Tawny is perfect the way he is. Number 2, Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen. Although an unnamed office boy from 1938's Action Comics number 6 was retroactively declared to be Jimmy Olsen, Jimmy's first real appearance was on the Adventures of Superman radio show in 1940, when he was introduced so that the Man of Steel would have someone to talk to. His first real appearance in the comics was in Superman number 13 in 1941, but he would soon disappear again until he was made a character in the 1953 Superman TV show and given a starring role in his own solo comic title by Otto Bender and Kurt Swan, where he would really come into his own. Given a watch that allowed him to signal for Superman whenever he was in danger, Jimmy made his bones as an intrepid and even reckless young reporter whose knack for disguise and willingness to do anything for a story saw him end up in all number of scrapes, including getting turned into a werewolf, becoming a giant turtle man, marrying a gorilla, going back in time, and even gaining superpowers of his own. Although Jimmy's adventures have been greatly toned down since DC's continuity reboot in the mid-80s, the legacy of his 164-issue solo series is still felt from time to time today. Number 1, Etta Candy. When Etta Candy first appears in 1942's Sensation Comics number 2 by William Moulton Marston and H.G. Peter, she is a sickly girl whom Wonder Woman meets in a hospital. When Wonder Woman next encounters her, Etta is full of life and verve with a much fuller figure. She tells Wonder Woman that the secret to her renewed health is the nourishing power of candy. Etta would go on to become the leader of the Beta Lambda sorority at Holiday College, and also their marching band / band of adventurers, the Holiday Girls. Etta is notable for her pluck and moxie, as well as her catchphrase, "Woo-woo!", which made her the original Woo Girl. Etta accompanied Wonder Woman on many of her Golden Age adventures, and had no qualms about storming a Nazi stronghold on her own, armed with only a box of candy. The keys to Etta's character are these: 1. She is fat. 2. She is a sorority girl. 3. She does not give a care. Later versions of the character have tried to change some or all of these elements by aging her up, slimming her down, or making her an officer in the Air Force. All of these interpretations greatly miss the mark, but maybe someday we'll see a return to the glory that is the Golden Age Etta Candy. That's all for this list, but join us again next week when we put 5 more things in order. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Comics Alliance for more comic facts, and check out comicsalliance.com for more comic awesomeness.